With the advent of social media and data sharing, we have in the last few years seen an explosion or spike in doxing. What is doxing, you ask? Doxing is an abbreviation of the phrase dropping documents and releases personal information, like someone's phone number, address, or other private information, to a hostile digital audience. We all try to safeguard our online personal information, but many people, including celebrities like Lady Gaga and Britney Spears, have had their lives wrongfully and unfairly harmed by doxing. I'm talking about harassment, identity theft, humiliation, social isolation, and the loss of jobs. Government-sanctioned doxing, or being outed online, happens regularly to the nearly 1 million people in the United States convicted of a sexual offense, with nearly the same negative consequences as other doxed people, including effects on family and neighbors. Children can be bullied, and spouses lose jobs. Houses have burned down with non-offending occupants in it. Right now, you're thinking that registrants shouldn't be allowed to hide their past from reasonable inquiry or a certified background check, and that's true. However, registries and other online doxing facilitate a rush to judgment not found in background checks and provide vulgar satisfaction for those only interested in a quick solution, instead of the harder, messier, slower work of understanding and rehabilitation. A person making a background check is better held accountable because there is a record of that check. Not so with a registry. Thanks to government-sponsored doxing, violent or nonviolent vigilantes don't need to work hard to find the home address of a registered citizen. All it takes is a few clicks of a mouse. That's what doxing does. Here's one such incident. In May of 2021, someone called the Wheatland, California police at 1 a.m. to say that he had just shot somebody dead. The killer brought a loaded gun and a cell phone jammer to the residence of Ralph Mendez, a citizen required to register because of a much earlier sexual offense, and killed him. The killer spared Mr. Mendez's 88-year-old mother. Police arrived and arrested Rory Banks, and the district attorney charged him with murder in the first degree. Police said they believed the murder was motivated by doxed information found on the California State Registry. Neighbors also believed the killing had to do with the victim's criminal past, which was known to many in the community. One neighbor, Robert Kesterson, said Mr. Mendez, despite his criminal past, didn't deserve what happened to him. Mr. Kesterson said this.
He was a very gentle person. He has helped all the elderly people on the street, and I figure he has done his time.
As the public grapples with how to respond to sexual offenses, there have been many incidences of both violent and non-violent vigilantism against people required to register, and the registry only encourages this. Despite warnings against retribution, registration is an invitation for the public to respond. By handing out private information, the justice system is implicitly giving the public permission to take action, and hoping that the response is not too extreme. However, it's hard to tell the difference between harassment and a neighborhood trying to protect its children. Sometimes the line is crossed. Registries were originally created to protect children, but because the vast majority of abuses against children are perpetrated by relatives and trusted caregivers, people well known to them, registries don't serve their intended purpose. Similarly, new sexual offenses, not just those against children, are perpetrated largely by people not on a registry, so registries are about as useful as a lifeguard looking backwards, away from the water, and away from the people he or she is supposed to protect. Reentry and rehabilitation professionals such as Circles of Support and Accountability and the Association for the Treatment of Sexual Abusers are achieving great success in recent decades, where recidivism rates for sexual offenders are among the lowest of any felony conviction. No vigilante can claim the same success. So why were registries created in the first place? Probably because back then there were no research studies on recidivism rates for sexual offenders. Data was so scarce that in 2001 the United States Supreme Court felt justified in quoting an unsourced, unscientific number from a popular magazine that the author admits was a guess. New research has shown that recidivism rates are actually much, much lower than originally believed. As we just heard the neighbor, Mr. Kesterson from Wheatland, California, say, the National Association for Rational Sexual Laws, or NARSOL, envisions a society free from public shaming, dehumanizing registries, discrimination, and unconstitutional laws, where people can do their time and be done with the past, moving forward as productive tax-paying citizens, for no other reason than that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. That's rights with a capital R. These momentous words were first penned in 1776 by the Founding Fathers of America, and yet they are better reflected in the laws of countries other than the United States, such as in the European Union, where it is illegal for members of the public to dox others about their criminal past. The EU gives these records special protection, and while available upon reasonable request, treatment of administrative and criminal infractions data is explicitly forbidden. Only authorized public administrations have the right to store this kind of data. Governments in the EU do not publish offender registries. Germany is especially repulsed by the idea because it evokes a dark period in their history when registries were infamously used to great harm. Good for them, and with any luck, the United States will soon come to its senses and put an end to doxing its own citizens.